Okay, this video is not for the person who doesn't have a big running goal. If you don't have a big running goal, if you don't have a why, stop listening to this video because it's not gonna, like, you can't stick to something if you don't actually have a goal that you're trying to go after. Because when it gets hard, you're just gonna give up. So if that's you, get out this video. But I am making this for myself and for the person watching that has used their kids as an excuse for why they're not hitting their goals or for why they sleep in or why they skip that run. And I'm hoping by the end of this that I can convince you or give you actual strategies and actual plans so that you can actually reach your goals. So please, I'm gonna actually give you like a whole strategy. I got a whole thing, but I'm also gonna give you a little motivation for why you need to get it together. This video is also for me because I've used it with being a new mom, a 1-year-old. So I get it. I understand how that excuse is easy. I've used it before, but I'm trying not to use it because I want to be a good role model for my son. So before we dive into the actual plan where you're gonna get out a pen and a notebook so you can actually take notes, write this down because that's the teacher in me. I want to give you a little piece, like a quote almost that sticks out to me, is that you chose to have your kids. Your kids did not choose to to have you as the parent. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But to me, it means that, like, I am the one that chose to be a parent. I'm the one that chose to have a kid, so I can't use them as an excuse when I wanted this all along. And the kid didn't choose to be born into existence, right? And even if it was an accident, like, you're still taking the actions to have a kid. So I think that you just can't use them as an excuse. So this helps me really think it through is what would you tell your kid when they get older, right? When they are struggling, when they're a parent, but they still have this goal, whether it's running wise, career wise, they just have something, they want to be a better version of themselves. Are you going to tell them to just give up, give in, like sleep in, don't exercise, don't eat healthy, don't go after your goals, like just, you can handle that in 20 years, right? Would you feel comfortable telling your kid that? So you can't let yourself do that as well. Like you are a role model, and what I really want to be to my son is to be more than just words. Like I want to show by actions that I'm going after my goals, that I'm showing up every day, that I'm committed. And I know that's you if you're watching this video. Okay. So what are we actually going to do? Here are the steps that I need you to go through to actually plan out and get yourself to actually go in and get those runs done. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to write down on whatever you got or your phone is that you have to write down your goal. So what is your actual goal? If it is a marathon, write it down and tell me why you're doing that. Why are you showing up and getting up every morning? If it is just to run a marathon because your friend said that you should, that's not a good enough reason why you have to get in, why you're actually doing this. Is this to prove to your kids that you can show up and do hard things? Is it to prove to yourself that you can stay committed and you can keep promises to yourself? Is it to prove to your coworker that you can actually do something outside of work? I don't know, but you have to have that why and you have to write it down. And then if you have like a time goal, that also helps because you know that like the steps that you're taking are going to get you to that time goal. And if you're not doing those steps, you know you're not going to hit that goal. So having that written down, put it somewhere that you can see it every day or put it like in your phone as your background so that you're just constantly reminded of your why and what you're going after. Because when it gets hard, that's the thing that kind of pushes you through besides discipline. Okay, then the next thing that you actually have to do that's going to help you stay accountable to your goals is to create an actual training plan. Okay, if you can't create a training plan, find one online, find one that honestly works for you. I highly recommend honestly getting a coach or finding like a plan that is more tailored to you, because if you just get like a Couch to 5K one, it does not fit in your life, and then you're not even really following the plan, you're half following it and you're kind of mixing it around. I do have private coaching. The link is down in the description if you want to actually sign up for it. But the whole point of coaching is to tailor to exactly your life, and then you don't have to worry about it, right? When you have a plan, a schedule in place, then you can actually go there. Okay, besides the point, private coaching. If you don't have that, there is a whole video on how to write training plans, which you can go after, but you have to have a plan in place. If you don't, then like, how are you going to get to the goal that you actually want if you don't have a plan? You can't just be winging it. You're not going to get the actual result that you want if you don't have a plan. So have a plan in place, do something. The biggest piece is when you're going to show up, when you're going to actually get those runs in. Okay, so these are some kind of lists that we can go through. First thing is the morning, right? Can you get up a little bit earlier before your kid? Can you run outside? Do you have a treadmill? Can you go to the gym? And it doesn't have to be, 2 hours before. Like, what can you squeeze in? And one thing I will note is that I think on social media a lot of times you can kind of get caught up in like thinking that you have to be a morning runner, you have to do this, you have to run at the same time every day. Like right now I do like 3 runs in the morning, 2 runs with my kid, and then 1 with a friend, and then I lift on my own at night, right? Like, so my schedule's all over the place. So don't be afraid to like mix it up and kind of have certain days that you do. But I will say it's good going forward, you're knowing when you're going to do certain things. You can do it in the morning, you can do it after your child goes to sleep. Some people are better at either or. I honestly like switching up and doing both. Naps are a good option if your kid's still taking naps. You can also do it with your kid. Like I 2 or 3 days a week now that it's nicer, go on a stroller run with my kid. And then also lean on your partner, lean on your spouse, because they are going to be a huge help in getting you there too. If they don't know what you're going after, if they don't know your goal, if they don't know why you're doing this, they're not going to be as supportive. And that's not from a point of them not caring about you or supporting you, but you have to make the effort to tell them why you're doing this, telling them what your schedule looks like, what is your plan, how many days a week do you need to like get in your run, do you need them to take the kid? Your spouse is probably going to be one of the biggest things that's going to help you be successful or not. So please communicate with your spouse and tell them your actual goals. And then if your kid is old enough and they're at practice, like can you drive them to soccer practice and run around the fields or go for an out and back? So just don't be afraid that even if your kid has those activities, you don't necessarily have to be there for every single one, watching every single one. You can go out for a 30-minute run, come back and watch the second half of their practice or their game, whatever it is. So those are all the different things that I want you to think of when you can actually get in your run. You can squeeze in these things. It doesn't have to be perfect, but don't be afraid to like mix up the schedule and run at different times of the day. You don't have to every single day get up at 4:30 in the morning to get in your run. You can mix it up. It doesn't always have to look like that. Some tools that have really helped me be more of a committed runner is a jogging stroller for sure. If you're a parent with young kids, please get one. Then it helps you not have as many excuses. We recently got a treadmill. I know those are expensive, so if you can afford it, please get one. That, again, you're not going out to the gym, you're not driving 15 minutes and driving 15 minutes back. It saves you that kind of extra time so you can get in more. But if you don't have that, you can also get a gym membership. And then we also have with the treadmill downstairs, we have a playpen, so I can put my kid in there for a little bit so I know they're safe. They're hanging out, but they're still with me. And that I don't use as much or as often because it kind of makes me feel a little bit bad. But that's definitely like an option that I've used before when I need to get in like a 2-mile run. And then the last piece to all of this is Sunday nights. Our key is to actually sit down and for that week is talk with your spouse. What are their plans? What do they need to get done? When can they be helpful? When can they not? And then where can you plan in your runs? Look at your week schedule. What is your list of runs? And then are you getting up early? Or is it a night run? Is it going to be a stroller one? Is the weather good enough? Do you need to plan ahead and say like, I need Saturday morning to get in my long run. So I need 2 hours of that. Can you get up early with the kids? And just, it's that communication piece. It's planning ahead. When you plan ahead, you are so much more likely to get in your goals. So please make the effort to plan ahead. Sunday nights are so key. And they have honestly helped me so much. I would say I'm probably good. I'd say about 9 out of 10 times I write out on my Sunday plan and it goes so much better. And I can kind of like get away every once in a while when I don't because I've been really good with it, but that has made a huge difference now that I'm a parent, is planning that ahead and getting those scheduling out my run. So please do that. So again, that's write out your goal, write the time, why does it matter, get a training plan that works for your schedule, and then look through your day, like what's going to be the most likely time that you're going to be able to get in your run. Mornings, nights, naps, with kids. Do you need a break? Practices. And then Sunday nights are key. Please write that out. So don't use your kids as an excuse. Use them as your motivation so that you can tell them later on that I still did this when I had you, when I was a parent, and I didn't give up on my goals just because I had you. Because I think you can do it all. I think you do have to give up certain things along the way, but I'm not about the mentality of just giving up when you have kids. So hopefully that's not you. I hope this helps. Let me know. Things in the description.